start new project in which we'll learn how to use Crystal report in .NET Core project. First, we click on create new project. Here we select C#, then here Windows, and here we select web. Now we select ASP.NET Core Web App Model View Controller. Click on next button. Here the default name of project is Web Application 3. We proceed the default name. Click on next. Framework we are using in that project is .NET 8. We uncheck the HTTPS approach because in that project we are not using any valid SSL setting. Let's start this empty project. On first time run, some Nugget package are downloaded, so it takes some time to run for first time. Project is started successfully. Here are two pages, one is home and one is privacy. That is the default template provided by Microsoft. Now we start SAP Crystal report for SAP Business 1. Here I click on report wizard. Here I have a command. This command is shown. Employee ID, name, joining date, department from employee table. These 4 columns I am showing in Crystal report. Let's click on add command. Add that command. Then next. Now I have to display all fields. Click on this button. Click on next. Here I don't want any group by any column. Click on next. I choose available templates, no template, that is by default option. Here is a designer of the Crystal report. Here is the preview mode. By right clicking empty space, we can set up the page setup. Here page options, by default letter. We can select the A4 page. We can select the orientation, portrait, landscape. We can change the margins. Here is the A4 page, horizontal inches and vertical inches. Click on OK. Here is the print date, that is by default Crystal option. Here is the page number. There is the report data that are showing. Let's save the report. I save the report on desktops. Name the report report 1. File is saved. Now move the Visual Studio to call that RPT file. Let's add new project. Here I select desktop based project. sorry, I have to select the console project, console app.NET framework. Actually, Crystal Report is supported in .NET framework and not supported in .NET Core. So currently I select the console app.NET framework. I call the .NET framework project from the .NET Core project and export the report in the form of PDF. And after export the PDF, I show the PDF in the .NET Core project. The name is by default console app. Here framework is .NET Framework 4.8. Console app is ready. I have to add some references in that project. For this, let's open the folder in File Explorer and go to debug folder. Here I paste some DLLs. These 8 DLLs are Crystal Report DLLs. These 2 DLLs are Microsoft Enterprise Library that I use to access SQL Server, and that is used to JSON data, Newtons of JSON DLL. I have to add that all DLLs in console project, add reference. Let's copy the path and paste here. Select all DLLs, click on OK. All DLLs are added. Now set the configuration file. Here we have to add use legacy v2 runtime activation policy. Set it value true. Now add new class that is actually used to export the RPT file data into PDF form. Report 1.cs. Here I have to make one method, public bool print report, that is receiving parameters string file path to export PDF, and by reference parameter that this method is return message that report is successfully exported or any other error occurred. In the last line I am returning true. Now I create a connection with my SQL Server database. Data source dot initial catalog which is the name of database. Here is my database, my demo. In user ID of SQL Server SA, password is password, Now I am using Microsoft Enterprise Library to connect SQL Server. Passing the connection parameter to the object of SQL database. Now creating the object of db command. Here I'm using string SQL command that I use in RPT file, same as it is command. One get data in data table. Here execute dataset commands returns multiple tables, but my query returns only one table, so I am choosing first table, that is table 0. Now I create object of report document that is using crystal decisions.crystalreport.engine. Now I have to write the path of RPT file. First I have to add reference of system.windows forms here, because I have to access the path of my current directory. Here I'm accessing directory dot get parent path dot get directory name. Here application is basically from system.windows forms dot executable path here I create a new folder reports in which the file is report1.rpt. Let's Here is my executable folder, which is a debug. Outside of debug folder I create a new folder that is actually reports folder. In reports folder I need a file report1.rpt, that is a here. Let's paste that file. Now I have to load that file in report document object. Report file is loaded. Now provide that report object data source, which is dt, my data table that I get from the SQL server report dot export to disk. That method is making PDF file. Here is portable document format. Here is the file name, directory dot same as it is get parent path dot get directory name application dot executable path plus file path that is in parameter of my method. Now I dispose that object and collect the garbage, because sometimes in large reports memory leakage issue here I return message there is a by reference variable 1. Now go to in program.cs file and call that class. Here I have to check args.length greater than 0 if args 0 means first argument value is report 1. Then I create new object of my class report1 dot print report. Here I am passing the file path, which is actually parameter number 2. Here I have to pass the variable of return message. If that is successful, then write here success, else error. From the console exit we don't return any string value or any other data type value. We only have option to return the exit code in the form of integer. So here I am returning environment.exit code is equal to return message. That basically tells my web application that the report is successfully exported or something error occurred or not. Let's test the console app1 that is exporting the report. First, I have to create a new folder here where the PDF is exporting. Export PDF. That console app needs two arguments. First is report1. We're going to properties Here debug command line arguments. First argument is report one and space. Now here I am passing the folder name, that is export PDF. Here I am making PDF file report .pdf. Let's debug start new instance, that console app. Let's see, PDF file exported. Yes, successfully PDF file exported. That is the PDF file of my report one file. Now we're showing that PDF in web project. Let's go to web application. Here in that application I have to create new folders. First is export. Let's copy that folders, export PDF and reports. In .NET Core, for static files there is a folder www.root. Here I am pasting export PDF folder and delete the old report, and reports folder that contains the RPT file. Here I am making a new folder that contains the console app. Report export exe. Let's go to console app and build that app. Build successfully. Now I have to copy the all contents of debug folder and paste in report export exe folder. Now I have to access that exe file in web project, and that exe file I have passing command line arguments, and after passing the arguments that exe file exports a PDF that I have to show in the web project, that is actual .NET Core project. That first in the web project I have to go to Nugget, manage Nugget package, draw option. Here I have to type Newton Soft Nugget package. Package is successfully installed. Let's add new controller. MVC controller empty. Name is reports controller. Create the new view. Add view. Tracer view empty. Add. Name is default index.cshtml. Let's add some HTML code to show the PDF. creating a button class that is basically bootstrap wait primary on click event report id of button beat report import text to show PDF. I have to add iframe style. I define height 1000 pixel, width 1000 pixel, id iframe id frame border specified 0. Now adding some script. I need on click method function and JavaScript. I'm using jQuery to call the Ajax and accessing the controller method. The controller method is actually calling the console app. Ajax call I specifying async true, type is we post data where I specifying the export which value is v URL of controller. There is actually my first specifying the controller name reports, then an action result that is print report. Data type is JSON. Here are basically two functions, success and error. First I define the success function. Basically, I am getting data from my controller method JSON to stringified data. Now I am parsing JSON where that I created in the previous line. Now accessing the file path, that is basically PDF file. And now show that PDF file in iframe. Where I'm specifying the error function in case of any error occur in Ajax call. There are three arguments of error: request, then status, then error. Now my view is completed. Let's go to controller and add here print report action result method, public action result print report. Here I'm receiving only one argument from view. It is that name is export. First I'm making the GUID, which is used to create a random string in .NET, because here I have to create the random name for file path, because in my application multiple users are accessing the same report, so and each time we have to make the unique name. First I copy the path where I have to export my PDF. That name is report 1 plus GUID value plus file extension, which is PDF portable document format. Here I have passing arguments to my console app, which is actually first argument is report 1 and second argument is file path. In these arguments we need a space that can be recognized by console app. This space means here first argument and here argument second, because here accessing first argument and here second argument. Let's call the console app.exe file. I'm creating the object of process, which is system.diagnostic class. To access the console app, we need to access the current path of web application. For this, we need to access the web host environment. For this, let's add the constructor. By writing ctor and press tab, the constructor is created. process dot start info dot file name. Here I'm using this dot environment dot content road path. Now I have to move www road folder, then the path is report export. Here the file is console app.exe. Now let's pass in the arguments to that exe. Our standard output 2. Now start the process. Here I need to wait for exit that process. Here I'm getting the exit code which I'm returning from my console app. Here is my exit code. If any error occur, then I have to read the console output that report is successfully exported or not. In this line, actually read the console white line, which is actually the success or error. Now close the object process. Now return the path from the controller. JSON convert dot serialize object new file path. Here file path variable and formatting none, then JSON serializer settings. And this content the type is application slash JSON. Let's now I have to add reports controller path in layout page. First copy and paste li. Here controller name is reports and action method is index. Let's run the project. Here previous is repeated because here I'm not changing the text. First change the text and click on the hot reload. Applying the code changes. Code changes applied successfully. The text is changed. Reports. I'm clicking view report. Now wait here until the PDF is shown. PDF is shown. Report data exported successfully. That's actually the way how I can use the Crystal report in .NET Core web-based project, and we have successfully export the Crystal report in PDF format and show in view in the form of PDF. Thank you. That lecture is complete. If you like that lecture, please subscribe the channel and like the video.